say welcome. What's up, guys?
What's happening, man?
We're doing it a little bit early, Chris, today. I know isn't a favor to Milos because he done too many favors for us. So this is an easy favor for me, even though I had to literally be stuck in traffic because I had to go to the end of the rush hour. For me, 11 o'clock is perfect because when I leave the house at 9:45, because I have an hour drive, Milos, I have no traffic because rush hour is over with. But now I had to leave at 8:45, so I still got just a little bit.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'll take it.
I have no, yeah. Listen, normally when I film at 11, because I train Natalia at 2 every day, right?
Yeah.
On Tuesdays is leg day, you know? So when I film the podcast, I got to rush back so I can be in the gym at 2 o'clock to train her. And I never train legs because I don't like to stay afterwards. So today I'm done early, so I'm going to go in and train my own legs at 2 and then train her at 3.
Yeah. Can you do it still?
Yeah. I mean, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Because today I can because we an hour early.
What's your leg routine then?
Huh?
What's your leg routine?
For me, you really want to know?
Yeah.
I try not to hurt myself.
Exactly.
No, I tell you exactly. I do walking lunges to warm up the knees and the hips and whatever. And then I do leg extension. Then I do leg press. Sometimes I do a hack squat. And that's it.
What about hams?
Hamstrings I do on Saturday. I train hamstrings with her because I train with her every day. Only Tuesdays I don't train with her because I'm an hour late. So I usually do my legs Saturday morning before the hamstrings with her. That's fucking dedication right there, my man.
Right there.
Back to back. Yeah, but listen.
Get a pump?
Yeah, I get a little pump. I get a little sore. But listen, there's nothing to be proud of. Trust me.
Hey, Chris. Yeah. You know Natalia. Natalia is a goddamn monster. She can push the weight.
Bro.
That's the last woman I would want to train with.
Exactly. Listen, and I train with her every day except legs. Fuck no. I am not killing myself just to look good next to a woman. That's gonna make you look. she's gonna make you look stupid regardless.
Right.
She will do everything you do. She will double the weight and double the reps, and then she won't. She won't even make a face. It's ridiculous. For me, I have enough training with her when I have to put the weights on. That's it. For legs. Anyways, so I guess you guys heard the news, which I wasn't able to speak much about regarding the live stream for Pittsburgh.
No, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. You don't know? I'll be doing the live stream on Saturday with Fuad and Ian Valle. We're going to do the live stream for the men categories, and on Sunday I will do it for the females. I will do this with Sydney Gillen. So yeah, I said I'm glad they give me because I will not, and I admit, I love women, I love watching them, but if I have to be if you need my expert opinion on female bikini or wellness or I can give you my honest opinion, but I'm not sure if that's an expert opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. I'm glad they're giving me someone who.
How about the posing? Did you see Melvin pose like a girl?
Yeah. I mean, I got enough people sending it to me, and I think you were the first one.
That's a no, Melvin. For the love of God,
you
was too smooth, man.
But listen, we all know Melvin. Melvin would be a perfect candidate to play a gay man in any movie. You don't remember that one press conference in Vegas? I think it was I don't know if it was at the Mandalay Bay still or was it the Orleans already, where him and Eddie Abu were going back and forth. And because, you remember Eddie Abu, when he talks, he sounds a little sweet.
Yeah. I love Eddie.
And you don't remember? They were going back and forth at the press conference, and then Melvin said, and I got to pee, and he walked off just like that.
No.
Chris, you don't remember that?
I remember some shenanigans. I can't picture exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He walked away like a woman.
Damn.
Yeah, listen, I tell you this. Melvin he's a talent when it comes to copying whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a female or male.
Damn right. You damn right.
No, but he's always been there. He can
I'm
copy, and
serious. Yeah.
he can copy any woman, any routine, and from the walk to the facial expression. He can do it all. I don't think there's anybody who can do it better.
To the frame of the hair.
And yeah, and he loves to entertain. That's his thing, you know.
He said he grew up in a house full of women, so
I don't think that's why. I think it's
well,
just,
you see some mannerisms that you can copy. Right?
That was manicure, pedicure, right?
Hey, listen, yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris, I grew up with two females, and I don't walk like a woman.
I mean, you can if you try it, maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm not even trying.
He's like, I'm not gonna try.
What the fuck? What do I need to try it for?
To see if you can do it.
No.
Type it, maybe publish it.
We should, yeah.
Little eyeliner and lipstick on you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Thank you for making the time, brother. It's always
Thank
good
you.
to have.
Of course.
It's always great to have you on. We just talked about Pittsburgh real quick, and you probably also found out yesterday that there will be a live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an official live stream, and Gilco is the one that's producing the live stream, from what I understand. So it's definitely going to be high quality. And for Saturday, for the guy category, all the main categories, it's going to be me, Fuad, and Ian Bayer commentating.
Awesome.
And on Sunday, it's going to be, for all female categories, it's going to be me and Sydney Gillen. And the way they're going to do it is, and Robin Cheng just let me in on this yesterday, it says they want to do it kind of like the UFC. We're going to be sitting ringside, basically.
Oh.
Yes.
Awesome.
Like at the UFC where they're sitting right there and commentating, we're going to have the same thing. We're going to be sitting right there in the media area, the media pit, commentating live from stage. So we don't sit, it's like at the Arnold, we in a separate room upstairs. We don't even see the stage. We just we're just looking at the screen. So we're going to do it raw right in front of the stage. So we're going to see what we see.
That's probably gonna be way better. That's like you just play the action, and
Yes.
you can also see and tell what you're looking at way better than looking on the screen.
Exactly.
If you're loud, they can hear you.
How you get excited looking at a screen?
No, we'll probably have headphones and mics on, so it's only the live stream. The people that watching it can hear us. It's pretty much they won't hear us talking in the audience. Maybe the ones that are sitting right next to us, but I'm sure they know what they're doing because Robin Cheng is producing the show, and then Robin Cheng has many, many years of a great experience, and we all remember him from producing the Olympia back in the days for American media. So I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. So how you been, Jose?
Great. Busy at work.
Busy. You got this personal training business?
Yeah. I've been doing that for 30 years.
Yeah, but you also do contest prep, right? For athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah. That
You look
takes a lot.
thick.
Always.
Today, you really look thick. Like
That's because I got my Derek Lunsford shirt on.
Do you still train, Jose? You still train like really seriously?
I do, but not as serious as I would like.
Yeah, but if you're not serious, that's probably twice more serious than any other bodybuilder because.
Yeah, my shoulders are junk now, my hips, my knees, so I can't go heavy like I used to, but I still get it done.
Yeah, you still look like you're training heavy because you're still thick.
Yeah, I'm still heavy. I'm like 218.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 5'3" now with my hips.
you shrink. I shrink too.
How tall are you now, Milos? Because when I see you post pictures,
I'm 5'7". Hey, maybe 5'7". Hey,
maybe you want to be 5'7". Because when I see
5.5, I promise.
You know what I pay attention to, Milos, when you post pictures with some of the athletes. I mean, some of the fighters. And I know you're standing next to a fucking 145 pounder. I was like, there's no way this dude is fucking this much taller than you.
You know what? What was the worst thing is when I stood next to Nick Walker, did I say he's a 5'2", and then he was the same height? That's shit.
Yeah, but people, you will shrink with age. It's definitely, especially if you're a bodybuilder and you have like 20, 30 years of squatting on your back, because that's gonna take away about
gonna
an
shrink.
inch or two. Yeah. Because
At least.
I remember when I was 5'9".
What are you now? 5'7"
No,
too?
5'10",
I don't know. Probably who you, Chris?
5'10".
You lost a lot of height, Chris. But I think it's your back issue
I
because
fused my
Yeah.
4 mile, 4 mile 5.
I think it's your back issue because same with Ronnie. Ronnie used to be taller than all of us.
Yeah, and I got a C7 injury,
Go ahead, break him down, run it down. What else you got?
and I got my upper neck is jacked.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask Jose. Jose, do you know how much Chris Cormier weighs right now?
260.
He's like-
70,
Am I right?
could be 70, could be 75 on a good day.
75.
On a bad day.
I know Chris likes to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's his problem.
No, you know what? I do like to eat good. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's an issue, man. You need to get on some of that Ozempic.
No.
But that's really only if you want to lose weight. If you
Yeah.
don't want to lose no weight, then fuck it. Go ahead and eat. I'm all for it, but I don't have the appetite anymore. I'm hungry, but then when I eat a little bit and I'm full.
Good.
I think this is what it feels like being on Ozempic. I don't know.
Yeah. I hate the Ozempic whole idea about it. I would never recommend it. It's lazy ass people to take it. You catabolize the body for nothing just because you have no discipline to, control your appetite. And so you're going to have something to kill your appetite, make you nauseous all day long, and get you all the fucking other issues. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Ozempic
but you see,
is-
people don't give a fuck. People don't
Yeah, of
care.
course they don't, because they're lazy.
They just want to get slim and say, I'm not suffering.
I would rather, want to puke all day than have an appetite.
What do you
Okay. That?
Percentage-wise, what do you think, how many bodybuilders, amateurs, pros, all of them combined, how many bodybuilders would literally say, okay, I give up 10 years of my life to gain 30 pounds of muscle in 2 months?
A lot of them.
Give me a
Most of them.
Give me a percentage.
75.
Come on, man.
90.
I go with 30%.
I go with I'm right there with Jose. I'm going with 90 to 95%.
Yeah. Come
Yeah.
on. man.
Because look at it this way.
man.
Look at it this
10
way.
years of your life,
Big
right?
contact.
Okay, look at it this way. There's people going to find an excuse to say what they say, right? I'm like this too. Listen, I don't want them 10 years on the back end where I'm sitting in the chair drooling myself. Fuck them 10 years. I don't need them. Give me 10 good years now. You know what I'm saying? Once you get, you want to be 85, is sitting in a chair, Milos, and having somebody,
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't try to
Nah.
push for 120.
Nah.
No?
Okay. Yeah, well, shit, if you can.
Hey, listen, you can build 30 pounds in 5 years.
But
why would you give up for 5?
But
I guarantee you that we can ask everybody that they will tell you, yes, I will do it.
we all, I think a lot
We
of
all did.
Yeah.
I'll sign that contract anyway. So,
Exactly. Didn't we all do it? Didn't we all say, fuck it?
hey,
We knew what we did is not healthy. We knew what we did. We knew it
That's
could
good.
backfire. We knew it could
big
backfire.
back with a
And we all
We just didn't sign the contract, but we did it.
but hold on. We all knew that we eventually pay our bills. It will come. That day will come. It can come in 20, 30 years from now. But there's some bills that need to be paid. It's happening. So we know.
and I think we all remember that day
Oh, yeah.
when we signed it.
All right. Let's get to something better. Let's get to the Pit Power Week, the festival. Bro, we got a great show coming up. Jose, I want to get to you first, man. We talked about this a few weeks. Is it a smart move for Derek Lunsford after winning the Arnold to do the Pittsburgh Pro?
Yes.
It is a smart move. Why?
Because he's with a new coach and they're still figuring shit out. And listen, like you just said, it could come tomorrow. This next year isn't guaranteed. So win while you can. He's got a young family, make that money. And he's still got something to prove to himself.
Right.
So I think it's a great move. He's already in shape. What's another couple of weeks? He can shut it down after this and relax. and cruise into the Olympia.
I totally forgot that you're in with Krizo, so I
Oh, yeah.
shouldn't expect nothing else. But you're right. You got a point there. But don't you think it's risky? Isn't there risk for him, even if he comes in great right now and wins the show? Don't you think there's a good chance that this can hurt him for the Olympia?
It sure could, but listen, it's a risk every time you get on stage. You know, you risk not being your best, losing. This is the best lineup I've seen in a long time. And
Yep.
There's a couple guys that are really dangerous, to Derek,
Mhm.
but he's got balls and I love it. I
Yeah.
love guys that compete a lot and put it on the line. You know, just I never liked that winning the Olympia and then sitting out the whole year to the next Olympia. If you really believe in yourself, you should be on stage putting it on the line.
Well, the only one that did that was Samson. He won the Olympia and came for the Arnold.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
loved it.
When
loved it.
when Derek won the Olympia, he didn't come for the Arnold.
Yeah, but we all thought he should have.
Yeah. I remember because they announced a 500,000, but he chose
Yeah, we-
not to. So, but at the end,
Okay.
at the end of the day, the way he's saying it, he wants to do it is triple, Arnold, Pittsburgh, and the Olympia. If he puts it together, shit, everybody's going to celebrate him. If he wins Pittsburgh now, he's got great competition in Nick Walker and Martin Fitzwater, and I'm gonna say Krizo too, because after what I saw from Krizo, he's much more impressive than I thought he would be. But does it translate to the stage? That's something we have to see. And also Goodvito, and I think Goodvito is a little dark horse for me now, because after what he produced, even from the back, yes, he filters his pictures a little bit. But I remember him last year when he competed in Detroit, how peeled he was. Not only Detroit, also in Brazil. You know what I mean? So I think that
He wasn't.
he wasn't. But in Detroit, he was really peeled, right? When he got second.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the top six. Is there anybody in the lineup other than the top six? Carter, if you can put the competitor list, open bodybuilding, on for us to see. Do you guys see anybody on that list that can challenge top six?
Well, we have to establish top six first.
Okay,
right?
let's go through the thing. We got Derek, we got Nick Walker, we got Martin Fitzwater, we got William Bonac, we got Krizo, and we got Goodvito. In my mind, this is the top six that everybody's talking about right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at the lineup. Let's see, do you guys even recognize the names? And if you do, which one is the one that can possibly challenge any of those guys we just mentioned?
Ron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good.
He just competed in Detroit, and what did he place in Detroit? Did he get fourth?
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
He
did
didn't impact.
Huh?
He didn't make impact. We kind of convinced him to do all the other shows. Remember,
Yeah.
on our show, we said, "Why don't you do Pittsburgh, New York, everything?" Right? But listen, this top six, a potential top 10 Olympia. These guys are great.
Yeah. Now look at the name. Marcelo Petro da Cruz. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, yeah. I worked with him actually.
Okay,
That's the guy from Brazil.
That's the guy that's the one who got second behind Vitali, right?
I think he placed third in Brazil.
Did he
Yeah,
get?
third.
Did he get?
Second.
Did he get? Milos, is your guy? You don't know who he got
No,
second.
he used to be. But no.
Oh, not anymore.
He was
Okay.
third.
I
I
think.
think that Leandro was second.
Oh, so that's not that big guy, that real big guy that was in the
No.
lineup. So who's the big guy? Is that Leandro then?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think so.
okay. Then I got it all wrong because I thought that was the guy. who got
Marcelo
second.
is the guy that gets shredded glutes and
Yeah.
supreme.
What about Justin Musiol from Germany? He made an impact in Detroit.
Yeah, he could be someone
He had a real good showing in Germany, even though he got fourth only. But could he be one of those guys that potentially snag a top six spot, maybe sixth or maybe fifth?
I think potentially depends on his beak.
I mean, by looking at
He was shredded, right? He was shredded in
Yeah.
FIBA.
Yeah. Jose, by looking at, do you see the pictures of some of these guys like Michael Krizo, Goodvito? Do you think that there's any well, there's always a chance that something goes wrong. But do you think that they will miss their mark?
Well, someone's gonna, but I think all those 6 names you named are all good enough to be in the top 6.
Yeah.
I think that will be the top 6. I don't foresee any of those names, even though I don't know all of them.
Listen, there was like 3-4 posts
Thanks, Carter.
prior to that talk about Bob Ciccariello suggesting reform of judging. Did you see that? And
Yeah.
now he's suggesting basically what used to be symmetry, muscularity, presentation around, right? Hey, Bozo, you're the one that suggested to take it out. Now he's suggesting like placement system and all that stuff. And people say it doesn't matter. Look, when you have a Tyler Manion giving you a review of the show, does he ever go into the front relax, side relax, and back relax poses?
No.
As a, he doesn't.
As a cursor.
And it's thrown in as like, oh yeah, we judge everything. We had a symmetry round for that purpose. And if you look at the lists over there, Chris, you see that the symmetry round was dramatically different than muscularity round in many shows.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. So that was the
Yeah, a
purpose.
lot.
Except for Dorian Yates.
Yeah. But listen, even for Dorian, okay. In symmetry, I mean, he still has a wide shoulders, X frame, V taper, super hard.
Okay, so so
sides and back is phenomenal. Front,
right. So you're saying that was okay that he wins the symmetry round
yeah.
next to a Chris Cormier, Flex Wheeler, and Sean Ray.
Yeah. Hold on. Symmetry is not just aesthetics and shape.
Okay, so that isn't that the reason why they took it away? Because you can't really judge the symmetry, the proportions.
You could. I mean, that was still judged. I mean, Krizo was.
But right now, what you're saying is exactly what we talked about before. That shouldn't be that. When it comes to symmetry, who has better symmetry? Who should win a symmetry round in that lineup back in the days? Let's pull that back up.
Yeah, but so symmetry is not just beautiful shape. You still have to turn to the side and have a thickness and muscularity. You still have to turn to the back.
I understand.
So I mean, when I turn to the back, my lats are looking like a goddamn bikini girl next to.
I get what you're saying, but you're still saying that Dorian had the best symmetry out of all those guys back in the 90s.
Well, he was just more pulverized and figured. Like he was just like.
Chris, let me ask you. Even you're a Dorian friend, and I'm asking you straight up: did Dorian have better symmetry than you? Say it.
I think it depends on what year you're talking about.
I'm talking
towards the end.
I'm talking about in general.
Well, towards the end, he started tearing biceps.
Okay.
And that throws off your symmetry.
Okay,
His midsection got a little bigger.
Right.
Let
me make it easier for everybody. Dorian at his best, Chris at his best. I'm not saying who wins the show. Who has better symmetry? I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this one.
I'll take Chris all day long.
I can picture my 99.
Okay, so you just.
I take Chris all day long.
So you prove my point. Jose,
but no, Dennis. You remember how I said, if I'm going to judge what I think or what I think judge is going to judge, that's two different things.
But don't you think that's the reason why they took the symmetry round away? Because it's just literally you can't really go by off what we think symmetry really is.
Hey,
you have to judge.
Check it out.
It's the same. It's the same with the posing round because how Dorian won the posing round because they judged the physique, not the routine.
Listen, posing round was never choreography and dance. It's poses other than mandatory that show the strengths of your physique. That's what it is for. If you put it together in a nice entertainment choreography and all this shit, it's just a bonus. But it's poses other than mandatories. What is Arnold known for? Twisting back, this fucking shit.
Right.
Like victory pose of Sergio Oliva, Frank Zane. Those kind of poses that we fall in love with bodybuilding. Oh, you can show them in this round, not in first round, not in second round. There were 3 physique rounds. One that shows you symmetry, proportion, aesthetics, okay? And if you look at the score sheets I post, like Lee Priest and Paul Dillette and whatever, Chris, Ronnie, there was all over the place in symmetry, right? Because Paul Dillette and Chris were beating them big time. And then in muscularity, they pick it up.
Yeah. But we totally went away from my question, and I'm not done
Yeah.
asking you guys. So Jose, Chris Cormier at his best, Dorian Yates at his best, who wins the symmetry round? And you are a freak yourself, so
I would think my 99 stance.
hold on, Chris. Let Jose answer, because I think he leans more towards the freaky body parts.
Yeah, well, Dorian have forearms. At his best, he had everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was balanced. He was, he had everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's a prettier physique? What's more aesthetically pleasing? Chris, for sure. Flex Wheeler, for sure. But when it comes to the word symmetry, that means everything's symmetrical,
Mm-hmm.
front, back, top, bottom, side to side. Yeah,
Well,
Dorian at his best was the best because he had all those things. You could look at Flex Wheeler and say, like, he has skinny forearms. He's not, you could say that. With Dorian, there was nothing missing at his best. Even his ab shot was one of the best in bodybuilding at his best.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Jose, you're big time off there. He did have abs, but even when you say like, but his biceps was torn 94, and 94 prejudging already, he was off big time. 94 already, and he did 95, 96, 97. So from 94, his waist was already blown, and he didn't. I mean, when
I said at his best.
Yeah, but yeah. What
was his best?
His ab shot was definitely far from top 10 best in the world. I
loved it. I loved the way his lats.
Honestly,
his quads was not big, and the quads to waist ratio was not like small waist flaring quads.
Okay. Let me
interject
here. Let me interject here real quick. And this is my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Dorian just standing there, or Dorian hitting his poses. So let's talk about the mandatories. He found a way to hit the mandatories so good that he looked great in every single shot. So I see what Jose is saying. Let's not judge the transitions and stuff. Just the individual shots. He was great in every pose. He managed that. And even I just saw a video the other day with Dorian, and with the overhand ab and thighs, his abs were fucking right. I wouldn't say he had the best ab and thigh in the lineup, but he was definitely up there at his best. At his best.
He was competitive, but that's not his pose that he would gain momentum on.
Yeah. So, Chris, you still didn't answer the question.
I would take mine.
I didn't expect nothing.
99 stance. I just showed it to you. That motherfucker.
I didn't expect nothing else.
No, but that was my strength. Was everything balanced? Everything head to toe.
So yeah. So were you one of the guys that would complain back in the days and how can he win the symmetry round? Were you really one of them?
When Gunther beat me.
No. I'm not talking about Gunther. I'm talking about back then. You remember back then after the show, you still look at the damn score sheets and you see the symmetry round. Yeah. And you see people beating you in the symmetry round where you be like, weren't you one of the guys that complained?
Maybe Sean would.
Yeah.
Complain about it not being there?
Losing the symmetry round to the
Yes, I was one of the guys.
Because I remember that,
Yes. I mean, that takes it. I mean, because then we got a whole big flood of different physiques now. Now the physiques totally changed after that, I think.
So do you think it would even make sense to bring symmetry round back?
Yes, because you would force them to be more aesthetic, shapely. That part was taken away because it's blended in.
Yeah, but if someone that has the most, I want to get this right. If someone that has a less aesthetic, pleasing physique than other guys wins that round, what kind of sense does that make?
That's supposed to. Then judges should have to explain that. And listen, Tyler Manion is now explaining everything. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
If he had this back in the 90s, I would love it.
Yeah.
He explains pose for pose, but he just doesn't go into those quarter turns.
I will put an effort in to bring him on the podcast after Pittsburgh to see.
There you go.
Those are kind of questions that I really would like to ask him and find out what he thinks and how he feels about it. He wasn't the one that took it away. So in his defense,
I know.
He's just doing what's there now that he got to work with. Maybe he plans on changing things in the future. I don't know.
I doubt, but oh well.
Michael
Not that
Krizo.
it changed the outcome of many Olympias or anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think having
Yeah.
the symmetry round or not having it, you're still judging the best guys up there. And I think pretty much it's gone the way I see it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
But-
how much? Can you imagine how much longer the shows would go if we have a symmetry round?
But it's not
Hey,
that long though, right?
What do you mean? It's
Take,
not that- what if you have 60 competitors?
I never have 60 competitors in,
And classic physique, you do.
So
classic physique. They don't have that.
All right, Milos
Hey,
decided
that is-
classic, guys.
I can dig it out and post. It takes 30 to 45 seconds to do quarter turns.
Well, not,
Okay.
not the way they did it back then. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
meant-
back then, I promise you, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna post.
I understand one round, but then they're going to send one back, bring another one out,
Oh, yeah,
and then
you have
until they go
let's
through
say
the lineup,
15.
there's another 30, 40 minutes.
You have a 15 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you can see them being really compared. What I liked about the night is judging. You have three guys to look at and compare in symmetry, boom, 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 in muscularity, boom, boom. Now you have a 6. And my left eye is supposed to go to that corner and this one there, and then something in between. And you 6 guys, how are you going to be accurate? And judges doing great job, but that's not the thorough judging. Oh, I can see this. I'm still for a symmetry round. I think that aesthetics went down since they took it away.
Yeah.
That guys like Chris Cormier and Paul Dillette, they would fare better in the symmetry round. Paul was very high in the symmetry round, and Paul looked great, because when he doesn't have to pose his back,
Stand there, he looks crazy.
he looked crazy, yeah, and reflects in the score sheets.
All right,
Are you saying they don't do quarter turns at all?
They do.
They do quarter turns, but they
do
don't
like,
judge.
like 1 or 2. Like
Well,
quarter
of
to the
course they're
right, back to
judging,
the
huh?
right.
Milos, what do you mean they don't judge it? If they bring you out in groups, they do a quarter turn.
Okay,
They're
You
going to
judge.
do.
Quarter turn and have you hit a shot.
One,
with the
one-
front,
one
front
second.
double,
1 second.
quarter turn, side chest, back down. Okay, have you ever heard Tyler in judging the how two guys are going against each other, that he judged quarter turn from the side, quarter turn from the back, front relax? Did
But
he?
I've never heard him say he doesn't.
Yep.
He doesn't.
You can hear him 5-3 in 8 mandatory poses for a Hadi Chopin. You didn't hear in 4 additional poses, front relax, both sides and the rear.
Right. They don't score it.
What?
You're saying they don't score it.
How do they score it? But they don't talk about it.
Yeah, but if they bring them out in groups, like you just said, Milos, you're standing.
Yeah.
They're standing. First thing they see the judges is them standing front relaxed. Correct.
Okay.
So now
Yes.
he calls. Now he calls a front double biceps. Boom.
Hold on a second. So front relax should not be judged.
I'm not
Okay.
saying who
Well,
says they don't judge that. Who says they don't look at the symmetrical? That's why. That's how many times you see them make changes in the
That is-
middle
yeah.
during the poses.
because it's blended in. If they judge it, Tyler would start the review with front relax. Nick Walker, Derek. Derek has a
Yeah, but
silhouette shape, aesthetics, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, but
1-0 Derek.
Yeah, you talking
Front double biceps.
Yeah, but they're not doing the symmetry round like they used to do.
They
But-
don't do it at all.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if
They
they
do.
They still do the quarter turns though. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
only like a couple of quarter turns though,
It's,
Dennis.
how many quarter turns do you need? If I
Or
tell
you
you, if
take-
if
well,
you
it'd be like quarter turn to your right, and then it'd be like
okay, there's
Right,
only
right,
2
right,
quarter
right,
turns
right,
that
still oppose.
what I'm saying is, if I could finally say this, what I'm saying is when they come out, the first thing you stand front relaxed. That's your first pose. Even
Yes.
though it's not called, that's the first shot that people get. And now they call a front double. Now they tell you quarter turn. Now they get your side shot. Now they say quarter turn to the back. Now you have, I don't know how many seconds before they call the back double.
But he's saying it's never
So
like
they
a
still see,
comparison.
I'm not sure if they judge it, but they still see it. That's
Okay,
what
focus on
that's the
that-
only point I'm
focus
trying
on
to
that
make.
part. I'm not sure if they judge it. I'm not sure.
I'm not. I'm
they
not.
don't judge
I'm
it
not.
because they don't call it.
I'm not.
Milo,
I'm not on the
Milo.
panel. I'm not on the
But
panel.
you're right though. He'll never show a quarter turn and talk about this is what he's looking at in this quarter turn with these particular
Right.
body.
So it was so much easier when you had a separate round for the symmetry, aesthetics, proportion, balance, shape, everything. Boom, that's it.
All
In
right.
this round, this guy is superior. Good. Rate him for it.
Awesome.
Now,
Let's
he always been.
let's try to get back to the subject. Pittsburgh Pro. We were still there.
Anyway,
Yeah. We'll be rolling it back. Pittsburgh Pro. Michael Krizo. How dangerous is Michael Krizo, Jose?
Very, very, very dangerous. He's tall, big, wide. He's got really thin skin. Like all the shots have fibers everywhere. His arms are some of the best in the sport.
Mm.
You know, I just something that throws me off about him, and this sounds really weird, is he's got no glutes.
Mm.
And I'm not even saying they're striated.
Was
What he
that-
does have, it makes his lower half from behind look really behind,
Mm.
look like really deficient. If that makes any sense at all.
But
Like,
you don't really need big glutes in bodybuilding, do you?
well, you kind of do if you.
You need
Going
it in wellness, but not really body.
No. I don't. You don't need a Chris Cormier ass. He needs
Exactly.
a
'Cause
little
it never
more.
helped me. That's what I was gonna say.
Well, Chris, it would have helped you if it would have been in shape.
It never helped me.
If you would have had an ass like yours striated, that would have
It was hard. It was hard. Ours was
Yeah.
hard. We went
That
through
was
this
called
before. I'll show
Ronnie
you some
Coleman.
lines.
Yeah.
I'll show you some lines.
Yeah, I think Kristo's gonna be really good.
Okay.
I don't think he wins, but he's gonna be dangerous for sure.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Could he potentially be a top 3, top 4 guy?
Yeah,
Up in the fourth.
Huh?
I had him all the way up into the fourth place at least.
You had him. Where did you have him last week?
Fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth.
I kind of agree with Jose. I was a little harsh on him last. Well, it probably came across like I was harsh. I just think that he looks always super impressive in pictures, and then less impressive on stage. And that's just because, you know, and like you said, it sounds weird, but when I see him, his symmetry just throws me off.
yeah.
Especially
I
here,
agree.
midsection, you know. I'm not saying he has bad abs. I just say he has, let me put it, bad,
Yeah.
bad symmetry around here. Something bothers me. I really can't really
I
pinpoint
think it was probably lack of ab training, probably because he didn't want to attack an area that's kind of not small on him, kind of the wide waist. And I think his back is improved, and I also think his abs are improved.
So did you see his back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he sent me a photo.
Okay.
His
So
photo.
when you say his back is improved, I mean, he didn't have a good
That's
back
his
to
first-
begin with. So how much better is it? Is
I
it
would like to see. I mean, it's better development.
Is it competitive?
Yeah,
Okay.
competitive. Yeah, not the greatest in the world, but competitive. And those arms are out of the world, shoulders out of the world. And I just think with it, like I said, improved abs and improved back.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a
I don't
little?
really care about the glutes that much.
Don't you think it's a little strange that he shows the same stuff over and over? He never shows us his back. He never shows us his legs.
It's probably the point of the front part. I think he showed that, but it's probably a little bit. Everyone got a little bit of insecurity. They're going to show their strengths all the time, you know.
Yeah, but don't you think it's hurting him if you show something, then show us everything or show us nothing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you show us your shoulders and your arms in every damn video that looked fucking crazy, by the way. I mean, I saw some videos this week where he was just doing this and that shit looked like it was AI.
I don't think we need to talk to him about any arm training. So that's for sure.
And I think you got to appreciate him seeing him in person. That shit's probably even more impressive in person.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because Milos told me that one time when he saw him, he said, that's the fucking most freakiest shoulders and arms he've ever seen. Remember that, Milos?
Yeah, I remember.
In the gym.
As Jose said, that shoulders, arms in that crab mode, most muscular, it's like you say AI. It doesn't even look real. that's probably the best in the history of the sport. Who has a better shoulders, tie-in, biceps, triceps, brachialis? I mean, it's just fucking stupid, right? Yeah, it's crazy. And he can look very good in the side chest pose due to the same attributes, right? Chest is not really full, but he gets striated. If he blows that up, it's going to look super good. When he stands in front, like you said, he doesn't have that V-taper X-frame. Legs are not really flaring too much. It's not bad legs. It's pretty good. But then he turns to the side and like Dennis, you noticed first, a long time ago, he has no glutes. Jose, the best eyes in bodybuilding, is now calling it too. It's like kind of almost weird. He has striations, but doesn't have a substance, right? and you know, so from the side, he loses, you know, that lower department. Upper body is good. From the back, if you remember at Olympia, when he did back double biceps, his back was like detailed, kind of, you know, shredded, all this stuff, but it didn't have a width and V-taper. And next to the guys like Derek when he opens up, and Nick with the crazy back double biceps, and Martin, you know.
But don't you think it's a structural thing?
Back double biceps is great too.
Don't you think that's a structural thing with his back?
It is.
It is. What chances are there that he's all of a sudden comes in with a wide back?
He probably can't widen it that much. I mean,
Right.
okay, so let's say, Dennis, you're the one that kind of even opened eyes for me in the thing that you were injecting steroids in the lats.
Right.
And it did make the considerable increase of the width. It did. So a lot of guys are doing it, right? Maybe he could.
A lot of guys.
Yeah, a lot of guys. I watched him train back, and he didn't do nothing to open up his lats, you know, kind of, you know. So he didn't. So I don't know how much he's going to improve there. He's a shocker when he lifts the arms. Like, that's also Photoshop, you know. Phil Heath, for example, had a crazy arm in a down pose, right? But when he lifts them, he doesn't have that peaking biceps. Arm is just like not like one of those, like, oh my God. Nick Walker has crazy front double biceps, like crazy arms. Krizo can match him. I mean, he has a crazy arms, but he doesn't have that V-taper. Fortunately for him, Nick doesn't have a V-taper in a front double either. So it's going to be a push. I think that Krizo could climb up to maybe fourth. I don't think he can beat top three.
Yeah, I think his development needs to improve. I mean, a lot of these guys, you've been talking about Nick. I was looking at Nick's back, his lats, the actual latissimus dorsi region needs to improve to make that body fuller from the back. But also Krizo, if you remember when he did the Olympia that time, when he did that crab, like at the press conference, that was my first time seeing him in person as far as hitting a shot. And I was just like, damn, that crab.
Unfortunately, the crab shot is not the only mandatory pose.
Right.
Because if it was, I would probably have one title my damn self. But he's going to have to hit a few other shots next to these guys.
I was going to say that when he's talking about a physique with the best arm and delt, I mean, because Robbie Robinson had some crazy shit going on. His smaller body, 190 pounds or so on stage, but Krizo being a bigger guy is just, like I say, it's look like AI.
Yeah. So bring me to the next guy. So did Goodvito. He posted that front double that looks fucking crazy. Just by looking at the body parts. I mean, he flares like there's nobody else other than Derek that flares like that in a front double.
Yeah, it was,
his lats, I don't care how much filters you do, that flare, you can't filter that shit on there. You know?
Yeah, great width.
He has the legs to match his upper body. How dangerous is this guy if you look at it?
Very.
Crazy.
I still think the depth of the back in the chest should be improved.
I know, Chris, you always have something that you can improve. You'll never find one.
Once you get that, it's going to be lights out.
I know, but I'm not asking for what should he improve. I'm just want to know How dangerous is this lineup? There's nothing he can do to change it until Saturday. So we don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to.
Super,
Yeah.
super dangerous. I think he has the most upside in the lineup. He's only 26.
Right. I kind of agree.
He looks incredible. I've seen all his check-in photos. He looks incredible. You know, there's a few, as Chris said, few shots that I'm not a big fan of his side chest and his rear double, but everything else is lights out.
So he's got 6 great pulses.
Yeah.
Now
And
compare
he can
him.
hang.
See, it's good to have him on because he's seen the pictures that we don't see.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me this. Now compare him to Martin Fitzwater.
So he's bigger. He's bigger. He's got a better, believe it or not, better taper in the waist. Martin has certain things. Martin's a better poser. Better control of his body. Vito's legs are some of the best in the world.
Mhm.
Like his quads are insane. I think it'll be close between those two.
So think about
I mean,
think of this scenario. Goodvito nailing his condition. Looks fucking crazy. Yes, he doesn't have the best back. Now put Martin next to him slightly off his best.
Vito will win
Yeah.
if Martin's slightly off.
Put
Yeah.
Derek slightly off next to Vito.
Huh?
Put Derek slightly off next to 100% Vito.
Well,
You-
I'm sure he saw pictures of Derek.
I know, but I wanna hear from him.
Well, in the front double, I would actually pick Vito
Yeah.
because
Okay.
they have the same type of crazy taper, but Vito has better arms
Yeah.
Okay,
and
keep going.
bigger legs.
How about lat spread?
It's close because that's not one of Derek's best. The front lat spread, his rear lat spread's crazy. They both struggle. It's because I don't know if it's for the short guys, like can't open up. Like he's so big, you can't even see his lats from the front in the front lat spread. It's not like Dorian when he would open up and you would see that.
Yeah.
The shorter guys, you can't really even see their lats in a lat spread from the front. And Vito's only like 5'7". I think he's the same height as Nick.
Let's go post by post real quick. That's a good thing, a good comparison. Goodvito and Derek Lunsford, because I know that Jose saw both. So
Okay.
front double. I go with Jose. I go with Goodvito in that shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris,
Same.
Milos.
It's super close. I'll give it also to Goodvito.
Okay, hold on.
But
Hold on.
According to this last picture that was posted, and like, holy hell!
I look. Every picture I see him in the front double. He just looks too
Yeah.
impressive. Every front double.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we looking at both in shape. Okay, so Goodvito 1. Front lat spread.
I'll go with Vito again, just because he takes up more space. He's huge.
Milos.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I asked Jose, because
Chris.
he's thinking about
Vito.
So Vito has got 2 poses. All right, side chest.
okay.
Don't
Derek.
hold on. I don't
Oh.
want Jose be the first. I want Jose be the last.
I can do side chest, Derek. I never liked Vito's side chest.
Okay, so what if Chris gets a hold of him before Saturday?
Yeah, but maybe on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So you got Derek, Chris.
Derek.
Okay, so you got Derek. So Derek got 3. I mean 1. All right. So from now on, Jose, I want you to be last because I don't want people
All
to
right.
go off of what you say.
Yeah, you don't want to give us the idea.
Yeah. Rear double biceps.
Okay, that's no question.
Okay, so Derek
Okay.
2.
No question.
Rear lat spread.
No question.
It's still Derek. Yeah.
No question.
No, Vito's gonna be, competitive. But
That's his biggest point.
Think of Vito peeled.
yeah, Derek. That's those lats like.
So that's two for
Derek.
Derek. Jose, what do you say?
Well, you just said Vito peeled. Like as peeled as Derek.
Yes.
He's bigger. His back lat spread's his second best pose.
Okay.
So
So,
Hold on, Chris. Let him finish. Let him
Okay.
finish. Don't change your
all
mind.
things considered, if he's absolutely peeled, because he's got everything,
Mhm.
he could win that pose.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would you give it to him? Because I would.
Wait. Did you say rear lat spread or rear double?
Rear lat spread.
Yeah, rear lat. He could win it.
Okay, so it's 2 against 2. So now we're gonna have to make one of you two either switch or stay where you at.
I'm staying with this Derek. Derek always
Okay.
had
Okay,
crazy width,
then we'll give him
you know, and
one-
super straight glutes, and his legs look huge from
Yeah.
our view.
We're gonna throw out the highs and the lows.
Okay, no, we just leave it neutral. Okay, side triceps.
I still go with Derek.
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 All right. Abs and thighs.
Derek.
To Vito because of crazy legs, but I don't remember his abs hitting it correctly.
I think it's Derek.
I'll go with Vito.
Vito, Chris,
Derek.
Jose.
Vito.
Okay, so that's 2. I give one to that's 2-1 anyway. So Vito. All right, so we got the most muscular left.
I never liked Derek's most muscular, but he's gaining some size. Jose, you said that Vito is bigger than Derek?
Oh yeah.
Really?
What did you?
Well, not. He's structurally wider, taller. His legs are much bigger. He's a bigger guy.
Oh, you thought they were the same size, Milos? I thought so. I thought that he was bigger too. I thought he's at least 10, 15 pounds heavier than Derek.
Yeah.
He is, and he's like 2 inches taller,
Yeah.
and he's
taller?
wider.
It's
I
not. It's
thought
not
he was
gonna.
the
It's
same
not.
height.
It's not gonna look like he's way bigger than Derek because Derek looks big when he poses on stage because he stood next to Samson and didn't look like there was a 50-pound difference.
Right.
But he is obviously there's some body parts where you can see it: arms, legs, possibly chest.
This is going to be awesome. These guys are all similar height, other than Krizo.
So most muscular. One more time, Milos.
If Derek hits the hands on the hips in this one,
Okay.
Derek.
Just
if he don't,
go by whatever pose.
On Chris, on basis of which exact striation
Yeah.
thinking of that.
Chris is
That's
trying.
all
Chris is
better
trying to
than the
find a pose where he looks better than the other.
that's what I think. Yeah,
let's-
because I don't think it's the crab. I think it's
Let's just go. Okay, so
I think I'll give it to Vito.
Vito, Chris.
what is Vito hitting?
It doesn't fucking matter. Most
Probably
muscular.
crab. Probably
I just
crab.
can't picture as most muscular.
He doesn't have a striations either, you know.
I'll
I
take-
was just going to say
I'll
that.
take Derek.
The,
I'll
re-
take
the
Derek.
reason I might go with
I'll
Derek
take
is
Derek.
because Vito has a similar problem to Derek.
Yeah.
When Derek used to hit it, nothing was happening, and now that Derek's like fuller, you're starting to see more detail on his pecs and shoulders.
Yeah, I'm just surprised, Jose, because for me, Derek was pound for pound fucking thick and big. I mean,
He's 250,
I
5'5",
know, so
250.
I can't wait to see him next to Vito. I don't visualize Vito overpowering him at all. Zero.
In a few shots.
Only in the leg department, of course, but upstairs, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
That matters. The legs matter. It creates an illusion of
Nice.
craziness. They both have tiny waists, but from elbow to elbow, Vito is a bigger guy.
And Vito is taller than him?
Yeah,
He is. Yeah, he's a few inches taller, probably 2 or 3 inches taller.
like 5'7", 5'8", right?
Yeah.
So let me try this again. Most muscular.
I give it to Vito, but yeah.
Okay,
got
Chris, Derek,
I got Derek. If he hits
Jose.
that
Derek.
asterisk.
All right, I will give this. I would give it to Vito, but it doesn't matter because it's still 2-1. So I'll give this to Derek. So Derek wins 4-3, but one pose was equal. Could have went either way if
It's gonna be hard.
if Goodvito wins the real last spread, it's 4-4. Based off what
If
we
Derek
guys
is
said.
100% on, he wins.
And what about
Yes.
Martin? Is that you think he can leapfrog over Martin?
Yeah, that's
Then-
what he said at the beginning. If Martin is
That's why
not,
he's the guy.
what
That's
if
why he's the first.
what if Martin is 100%?
If he's at his all-time best, like better than what we've seen, he can be second, he can push Derek.
Yeah.
How about Nick, Jose? Put Nick in the equation around.
Same thing. I mean, Nick beat Martin last year. Vito only lost to Martin by 1 point. They're all supposedly improved. Nick looks like he really improved. And Vito's definitely improved. He's going to be a lot heavier than he was last year and equal to or better condition.
When you compare him to Brazil 4 weeks ago?
Much better. For sure.
I don't think he was super impressive conditioning-wise in Brazil.
No.
It was a terrible live stream. Just we gotta add that to it. They all looked. There was nobody impressive.
Yeah. He's still got to nail his color. He's got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because he's really white.
Is he doing it himself? He's got that Russian skin. Dennis had the same issue. How many years, Dennis Wolf?
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to figure that out. It matters.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I got to ask Jose for a Nick Derek comparison pose by pose. Jose, because I love you, you have that special eye and analysis a little bit deeper than all of us probably have. You have extra layer. So front double.
Yeah. Even though Nick's is awesome. I really like it.
Yeah.
But Derek wins just because of the taper, the hanging lats, the tiny waist. Even though his arms aren't even close to Nick's.
But isn't it only the tiny waist because he's pulling a vacuum?
No, he's got small hips too. It's tiny any way you look at it.
Really?
If he were to crunch down like Nick, it wouldn't look right.
Yeah. Okay, Jose, we discussed this, Dennis and I and Chris before. When you pull the vacuum, so frontal legs vacuum, frontal biceps vacuum, right? That waist is illusion for that pose. It's not your actual waist. So what Dennis was asking, okay, how about a real waist and real taper? Okay, when you inhale and create that vacuum illusion of a crazy V taper and differential, but when you drop it down and you see actually waist is not that thin.
I mean, Jose is not from yesterday. Jose,
Yeah.
Don't you think there's a reason why Derek stands like this in between poses and if it's in the lineup always? I'm gonna call it like I see it. So yeah. So
that's bodybuilding. That's sportsmanship. That's gamesmanship.
Yeah, but
you got to do everything you can to hide that.
But then what's the reason behind that?
What's the reason that he stands like that?
Yeah, that he's hiding this part here every time he's not posing.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
He could be strategically trying to hide it. Yeah. But he doesn't have a big waist.
I'm not saying he has a big waist. I'm just saying his obliques expand when he's not vacuum.
You can say fuller look.
Yeah. It's not as small as how you expect it to be when he's not pulling in. That's what I'm trying to say. And when he's breathing, he has to do this. When he walks out, he comes out like this. There's a reason to do that. And I mean, listen, a lot of people don't get it. I know why this is. You know, it's just and it's sportsmanship. You got to hide your weakness sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do it. I mean, if you feel that's what you got to do what you got to do in order to hide it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
When I got to my biggest, I always use the analogy. I was 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And you get so big, shit starts popping out.
Yeah.
So you got to hide it.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to vacuum, hold it in the whole time you're on stage.
Yeah. But with that being said, at his height, you need to be careful about how much weight you do put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think 250 is almost too much for him?
Yeah.
He's huge, but he can pose and he looks the best of everyone on stage so far.
His posing improved, but that's going to be something at his height, his weight, and his age. This is the small it's going to be. As you get older, that weight is bigger.
How
The way-
He
if
needs
he's
to keep an eye on that. Yeah.
if he's 250 now, how much he going to end up on stage? What do you think?
He'll probably be in the high 240s, 247, 248.
Really? You don't think he's going to drop more water?
Yeah, he's gonna be 240, I think.
I think he was more than that at the Arnold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 244, 245, something. Yeah. At the Olympia, he was 239 and he was flat as a pancake. His legs were gone.
Yeah.
So now he's he's gonna be 8 pounds heavier than that Olympia appearance. Probably similar to the Arnold.
Hmm.
He's big. I'm not there weighing him, but those are the weigh-in numbers I'm getting.
I'm not weighing,
You know,
right?
I'm with
He's
Dennis
massive.
that usually that last day drop is more like 6, 7, 8, 10 pounds.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Rather-
and we know Chris is a little, I don't know.
Yeah,
We
aggressive.
know something's gonna come out. Something's gonna come out. But if
He'll be
he
dry.
at his height, I think, because you said he was how much at the Olympia?
239.
239.
If he would have been a full 239, I don't think there's anything wrong with being 230, 239. I mean, if you full,
No.
I don't know. I hope everything works out. And like you said, they just started work together. They still haven't really figured out their real formula. So maybe they on their way. We'll have to see what he brings to the stage. I mean, I'm excited. He's definitely the favorite going into the show, regardless if he's 250 or if he's 240. If you would have told me now he's 240, I would have said, "Fuck, he's going to be super peeled." You know what I mean? And so we'll have to see. I mean,
Well, hold on. We started with Nick and Derek with Jose, and then we stopped after the frontal biceps.
yeah.
Okay. How
I
about
give it a Derek front double.
lat spread,
Derek,
side chest,
Nick,
back double,
Derek,
lat spread?
Derek,
You said Derek?
Derek,
Side tricep,
Nick,
abs and thighs,
Nick,
most muscular.
Nick.
Nick's winning. Yeah.
No, but I got Derek winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and we all agreed that Nick's beating him.
Pose for pose.
Pose for
But
pose.
listen, this goes right back to that symmetry round thing.
Right?
That shit matters.
Yeah.
Even though we're not scoring it, it's in your head. What
Right.
physique wins?
Yeah.
The one that's prettier, has the most balance, the most shape, the best flow, and that's Derek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
So
though Nick
But it's
wins,
funny, and it's not even close. It's like 5-3.
yeah,
It's funny though. It's funny, but you're absolutely right. Nick is a really, really dangerous guy, and I don't think he's going to be as conditioned as he was at the Arnold when he won. But if he is,
who cares?
if Nick is as conditioned as he was at the Arnold,
Oh, 2019?
yes, when he
He
won,
will.
when he won the Arnold, if he brings that condition with his stage presence, he's kind of like we just mentioned Dorian Yates. He doesn't have the most pleasing aesthetic physique, but when he hits his shots, he looks fucking good in them.
Dennis, that's why
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand how Bob was saying he's going to be 8th in the Olympia and all this stuff. This guy's won the Arnold.
Well,
he's won the United Champion.
Yeah, but when Bob said that, he was just talking because he was
Bob was being a dick.
he was mad because Nick was already 3rd in the Olympia. How are you going to tell him I'm going to be the one announcing you in 8th? You announced him in 3rd.
Yeah.
He announced him in 3rd. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that's just trying to get back at him for
Matter
saying
who's out there.
for saying who the fuck is Bob. So that's why that was. Just,
Right.
like-
I tell you I am.
he also said something like, he hasn't even qualified yet. He needs to qualify for the Olympia.
Well, which is true. Listen, okay, so I was going to ask before, but I didn't want to break the flow. All three of you, what is the 3rd biggest contest, bodybuilding contest in the IBB so far? established of the Olympia and
New York, New York.
okay, so do we agree?
Yeah.
Jose, you agree? New York?
I used to until this show came.
Yeah, but
Pittsburgh.
So yeah, this can
Known throughout
better.
the years, New York was always the
Yeah.
third best show.
yeah. This is novelty. This is something new. It's huge. I think this is Pittsburgh going to grow
yeah,
endlessly. Yeah, but now you commanded Derek for entering the Pittsburgh, and he's going to have like triple, right? 1 week later, it's New York, third biggest show. You know, why not a rematch? Whoever wins in Pittsburgh, if he wins, okay, he's still going to show up. If he loses, he's going to definitely want to show up, you know? So why
Is it next week? It's a week later.
week later?
yeah.
Oh, I think he will do it then.
He's not signed up for it. And he talked about he's going to be in New York, but he's not sure if he's going to compete. I think when you're contest ready, the crazy conditions,
He'll do it. 1 week, you got to do it.
you got to do it. Yeah, that's what I think.
That's old school mentality right there.
Yeah, you have to. And he's talking about these wins, these historic wins, the Arnold Classic. New York is
Historic.
one that you got to get.
What is that doing? Let's say, what is that going to do for Nick Walker? Let's say Derek wins Pittsburgh and New York.
Yeah,
I say I don't care. I'm here to win. I want to eliminate these guys.
Dennis,
Make Nick have to go to 5 more weeks to find a show,
Yeah,
and then he's not going to be ready at the Olympia.
yeah,
So I'm eliminating you by beating you earlier in the year.
yeah.
I would go and get that ring in New York.
If
would
I
get
was
the-
if I was Nick, or if I was Derek,
I would get the ring in New York.
It's probably a little bit too long
I think
because
that'd be a ring.
when is the Dubai show? Didn't it just increase to
In
140,000?
June,
It's
June, June.
Yeah, that's too much for
320.
Derek. That's too much for Derek. He would jeopardize his Olympia showing.
Which one?
The Dubai
Right,
Pro.
6 weeks.
Oh, yeah. No,
June 22nd. Yeah.
But that would be if I was Nick, that would be something for me to do. I would fly to fucking Dubai and get that fucking money too.
he's never left the country.
He does have a passport now though, from what I recall.
Do you?
Yeah. He
He's
said
gotta go.
he said I finally got a passport. It's a while ago. He mentioned that he got a passport, so now he's able to travel. I never knew when I came to the U.S. that Americans mostly don't even have passports.
Yeah, most people don't leave the country.
Yeah, they really don't.
Okay. Jose, William Bonac, what do you think, really? This
I
year,
was really impressed with him in Detroit. He was huge. Again, his legs came back to life. But I have to critique him. I think he's gotten even more boxier. Like his front double's almost straight up and down now. There's like, but he was hard as nails, full round. He looked awesome. But I think against some of these guys that have just prettier taper, prettier look, I think he's going to have a tough time. I still see him in top 3 or 4, but I don't think he can win. I don't think he can win this.
not win, but he can be competitive. Side poses, I think they're great. You can see the structural, the problems. I think muscular is great. The back biceps is great, even though he doesn't open up too much, but there's so much detail and density. Yeah. I think, people are sleeping on Bonac too.
Nobody's sleeping on him.
No,
Yeah.
I think he's awesome, and I
Yeah.
think he'll be top 4.
Yeah, I had him 4th.
Yeah.
All right.
last
So
week. So let's just get let's get to the predictions. Fuck all the bullshit. We'll start with Chris, the real deal Comiel. I want your top 6 because it's going to air on Thursday. So it's just going to be plenty of time for the people to hear your shit. I want to get your top 6 in particular order.
All right. I got Derek. I got Nick. Martin. Not a surprise. Krizo. High on Krizo. And I would say I'm gonna go with William, and then I'm gonna go just like I did last week. William, and then I'm gonna go with
Vito.
Vito.
Milos.
I'm gonna switch for Derek, even though I agree completely. But if you go pose by pose and then end up being Nick wins, 5-3. I'm counting my symmetry rounds as well, overall impression, and I think Derek is not showing up in anything less than perfect, and he's just too much. So I'm gonna go with Derek, Nick second, Martin third. I had a William fourth. Krizo is freaking me out. Vito is freaking me out also. So now, I know poses which all the guys are gonna win, but I have a feeling that Vito is gonna look way better than we ever saw him before, and he might squeak in the fourth. And I would give a William fifth and Krizo sixth, and that's Krizo looking peeled, ridiculous. He has a lot of weak poses that's going to cost him, I think.
Awesome. Jose, what say you?
Okay. Derek, Nick, Vito, Martin, William, Krizo.
Wow.
One thing that strikes me with Martin is he's trying to come in heavier. And I didn't think
I heard that.
that's not something I think he needs to do. I thought, you showed a great showing at the Olympia. The judges were happy with you there. Just a notch above, and not a big 10-pound jump is going to be in your favor. That's what I would take.
Yeah, I thought that too when I heard that. But
Just
who knows?
Not my thing, but maybe they know better. I don't know.
But they nailed the conditioning at Olympia, like it could not be better, right?
You're not gonna 10 pounds jump in that length of time and then be better.
Yeah, but 10 pounds off season.
Because remember, he was
probably like Dennis said, they're gonna strip off 7, I think.
Yeah. But if it's
Okay, Dennis, you up?
I like a little controversy here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Nick.
And again, I'm gonna go with Nick because I like controversy, and I think that Nick is an athlete who looks better on stage than in any picture. Number one.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen. I'm just saying this is what I can see happen. I can see Nick winning. I can see Derek in second, which I'm not going to take nothing away from Derek. I still believe he has a great shot of winning the Olympia, even if he doesn't win Pittsburgh. I like the fact what Jose is doing is putting Vito in front of Martin, but I'm scared to do it, so I will keep Martin in third. I'll keep Martin in third.
I think we all have that feeling, though.
Yeah.
We're like, should I do it?
After seeing what he looked like in the photos that he posted, even though he filters them a little bit, it's still, I think when you put Vito next to Martin and Vito next to Derek, I think he looks bigger next to Martin. I haven't seen Martin with his new size yet, but when somebody says I have this much, I put on this much weight, it's scary. It's a little worry. I worry just a little bit. So I'll leave Martin in third. I got Vito in fourth. No, I have Vito in fourth because I think Vito can beat William. I got William in fifth and Krizo in sixth, even though I think Krizo and William, they have the same issue that throws me off a little bit here. And there's a good possibility that Krizo could beat William. I think it can happen. And now it's been mentioned one name, if you guys remember anybody else in that lineup that could possibly throw himself into that top 6 and kick anyone out.
German guy, Justin.
Justin Musial, I agree. Justin Musial is the one who could possibly do it.
Yeah,
Do you guys agree?
Yep.
I do.
Jose, do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Yeah, so yeah. Do you remember? Nah. Did you-
Okay,
At the FIBO.
maybe
Oh,
we
but,
could. Huh?
we are kind of counting out Martin, like you know.
I'm not counting him out. I'm just worried.
Kinda.
I'm just worried from the Olympia to now. So much size, so much weight. I don't know. And then when
Did you see it on the picture? I mean, the video.
no, I didn't see the weight.
No, it didn't look like he changed, you know, physiognomy of his physique or anything. So Martin had a great legs anyway. He had a, you know, quite full chest. I mean, his most muscular was very competitive with Nick back in New York, and then he was phenomenal at the Olympia. He scaled down for Prague. Chris, you saw him, that prejudging.
Yep.
He wasn't very convincing, right?
Right.
Bamstad gave him a run for the money. So
Right.
maybe that's why we kind of discounting him. But Olympia version of Martin, can he win?
No.
No?
No.
Who's crawling on the floor?
That's what I was laughing about.
What is that? Oh my God. Milos, what do you
It's
got
like a
going
scary
on there?
movie. I was about to say, run, Milos, run. Shit.
Why? What happened? What did I miss?
His wife was crawling on the
Oh, again.
Oh, is it? Is it? I didn't see it.
Dude,
Oh,
Wait,
Hey, run, Milo.
listen, wait, Jose. She's gonna crawl back to get back downstairs.
Yeah. I'm gonna move the chairs so you can see it.
Yeah. Like one episode, she was crawling
I
back
didn't-
and
I didn't
forth
see
at
it
least
myself.
two or three times in one episode. She crawled back and forth.
Oh,
Milos,
that's so funny.
Milos, when are you gonna tell her that she can walk, man? She don't have to do that. She can stand on her feet. That's fine.
Good walk.
That was great.
I didn't see it.
Jose, like, who's crawling on the floor?
I
That
didn't see
was
it.
scary.
Somebody breaking into Milos' house,
movie with the-
and he doesn't
Or
even
someone,
know.
She
someone
brings me
trying to escape.
She brings me the
With the
coffee.
hair.
Yeah, it's great.
And
Okay.
the girl had the eyes looking through the hair. What's that movie?
But- Listen, I know maybe you guys are in a hurry, but I want to use the opportunity because I love Jose's opinion. Best front double biceps of all time for you.
Ooh,
But Jose first. Somebody asked me recently, and I wasn't really prepared. I said, okay. So now you're not prepared.
I'm just always drawn to like 93 Flex Wheeler, like with the abs, the round arms, I mean, that was beautiful. That was really untouchable. And that was a real tiny waist
That's
without a
about time?
vacuum. What's that?
That's about time.
Yeah, I mean, the one that sticks out most to me, you could say Ronnie too, but because he was massive with huge arms.
Who do you got? Who you got, Milos?
I actually said Robbie Robinson.
I got Robbie Robinson all day.
Yeah, I like that too.
All day. All day. All day.
Yeah.
Every day.
But is that because of the bicep peak, or what's the
It's
what's
the,
the?
shape, the shape, the pose, it's the
You know-
bicep peak, the tricep hang, the lat, the small waist vacuum with the boom, boom,
He
boom.
becomes the pose.
Oh man.
He becomes that front double bicep pose. I don't know. I want to know.
What
do you-
about Thierry Pastel?
Oh yeah.
He
But-
was incredible.
He had the abs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he was a little bit shorter,
He
a
was short.
little bit bottom heavy. Legs were fucking crazy. If you
Yeah.
really want to see the craziest legs, look at Pastel's legs. Sweeping, separated, holy hell. There's a super small waist. You know, yes, but if he stands in front of you, he's like this. Really.
little dude.
Yeah, he doesn't open up. Crazy arms, crazy legs, like limbs, which happens in history of bodybuilding a lot. I'm sure you, Jose, you've seen people either had a torso or a limbs.
Yeah,
It's more like a limbs guy.
yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, front double biceps.
I kind of agree with. For me, 93 Flex was the best bodybuilder, the best physique to ever grace a bodybuilding stage. I have to say it again. I'll say this a million times, and I'll say it again. For me, the 93, and I'm specifically talking about the Arnold that he won.
Yeah.
For me, that was the best, my personal opinion. And this is, I'm not judging this by size, how much you weigh. He was 216 or 18 pounds. For me, that was the best bodybuilding shape bodybuilder to ever grace a bodybuilding stage.
At the time,
I agree.
At the time, coming from the Cal, how he improved for the USA, and then from the USA to the Ironman and the Arnold back to back.
And I got to be honest, this is the first pictures that I saw of Flex. I didn't see anything leading up to that. I didn't see him winning the USA's. That's the first time I'm on my way. It was 93. I'm on my way to England for the Universe, the NABA Universe, and I'm buying me a Flex magazine at the airport. And they had a full spread about the Arnold in there. And that's the first time I laid eyes on Flex Wheeler's pictures. And I was like, who the fuck?
You didn't see 92 USA?
No, I wasn't even, I just started fucking training in 92. I wasn't paying attention to the USA in America. I was getting ready for the Universe in England.
Yeah, that Arnold was where he did that twisting, kneeling.
That was my favorite shot of all time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But that right there, and then he went to the Olympia, took second, all in that same year. It was like a whirlwind of Flex, and he was seemingly, people thought he was the next Mike Tyson type young kid coming up. He's going to knock out Dorian at the Olympia.
But just that shot alone, man. Think there was no filter. There was no fucking Photoshop back then. There was no extra light. Man, it might have been a great angle from the photographer, but that shit looked. And
that year right there gave him his whole career and his whole skill to this day.
He was dry. His skin was paper thin. I remember that back double. That shit was just, he was milking it. I remember.
Didn't Kevin do the same thing the year before?
Yeah, I did.
92?
Came from a regional show, junior nationals. Was it Chicago?
Yeah. I was there at his pro debut.
Who, Kevin won in 91, the USA's?
92.
92
nationals.
Oh, he won.
He won
91 nationals, right?
91, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
91.
Yeah, 91 national. It was all 91, and then he went to Olympia.
Isn't that the same year you guys went to the nationals?
Yes.
You and Flex? He beat the brakes off of both of you?
Brakes. I tried to go in there natural. I was trying to do the whole thing. And then Ronnie.
You're natural?
He tried natural.
Yeah.
He stopped shooting 2 days out.
I took seventh in the nationals at natural,
Chris,
and I tried to go to natural. I went to go to Universe.
Chris, what explain how you go in there natural. Explain for the audience, because right now you got me confused.
I went in natural. I was working with Chris.
So you stopped the roids 2-3 weeks. When did you stop the gear?
Oh, I stopped far out.
Like what? How long, Chris?
I didn't prepare with him. Oh,
so you figured it's the best thing to do is to go against all these fucking super hitters and just do it natural, because that will give you the edge.
I did. And Ronnie did the same thing, and he took
Yeah, but Ronnie was natural. It's different if you are natural to begin with, or if you all of a sudden say, man, I'm going to do this without steroids. I've been doing it with steroids for the last 5 years. Let me go natural and try this.
I beat 30-some guys. I was pretty good.
I'm trying to get the reason behind this. Why did you say...
I want to get my pro card. I was trying to get my pro card. I'm like, if I go to natural, then I can go for the Universe. But then Ronnie took...
Oh, so you want to go to the World Championship back there?
Yeah, World Championship.
Okay.
So me and Ronnie, so then when they went for the test, I started running.
So you stopped about 5 weeks out, because that's how long it takes.
Prepare with him, though. I didn't prepare with him.
For how long? 2 months?
No, it was the preparation wasn't with steroids.
Milos, is he telling us the truth right now?
He has a bad
Chris be capping right now. Chris,
Bullshit.
stop the cap. Chris, you thought you're gonna go to the World Championships. Let me see what stays in the system
Yeah,
the longest.
Ronnie
All right,
won the-
so let me not take DECA for this year, and let me just go with all the other shit, so that way I can stop 5 weeks out and pass the test possibly.
Do they really test at the World
Yeah, they
Championships?
did test. They did test.
Did you go to the World Championships?
I did in
So-
05.
Yeah,
And Dennis Wolf won the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they randomly
Oh.
they randomly test. Randomly. Dennis
Yeah.
Wolf was loaded to the gills.
That was my point.
Yeah. They don't
Hey.
test. They didn't test. It's all
And
bullshit.
you randomly don't test the winner and the guy that looks like he's
Yeah.
on for like 5 years straight.
Chris knew they don't test. He knew
I
that.
didn't know that. They tested on the U.S. side because they called me and Ronnie for the test. I'm like,
What?
I know.
Hey,
he's gonna-
listen, Chris. Please. They tested the fucking night of champions. I remember pissing in the fucking had Wayne DeMilio call me a week before the show and said, hey, just so you know, we're gonna test you for diuretics. And I said, I'm the only dummy that fucking went to my first pro show, the New York and the Night of Champions, did not take any diuretics. Of course, I was watery like a motherfucker. We pissed in the fucking cup. Everything was legit.
The guy was
Fuck,
right next to
after the fucking show, I come back in the dressing room, those cups are still fucking sitting there. Nobody touched them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder why everybody's so peeled. everybody.
What about '97 Olympia? Did you?
I wasn't there in 97.
I was 97, 8, and 9.
Did
Yeah,
you
but
get anything? I didn't.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
I was
direct.
tested. But 99, this fucking guy was right there staring at your dick. There is no, it is not like behind or anything.
Yeah, but
He's
then,
right next to
then
you.
they left the shit right there. They never even took it to check the
No,
test.
no, 99. Listen, that's when Marcus tried to cheat. You remember?
No, I'm talking about
It's
99.
not 99.
You know, I'm talking about the 90. Are you talking about the Olympia or the 90?
Olympia, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
Olympia.
talking about the 90
That couldn't
champions.
have been '99.
But Milos, you don't remember pissing in 99 90 champions?
I did in all three.
Yeah.
90,
You don't
98,
remember going back and that shit after the show's over with? That shit's still standing there. Open.
I think I told you that story. No, I didn't. 98 after the Olympia. 98 after I said this publicly. I'm walking away, right? And I go to the room and there are all those samples. Like, oh shit. So I took 3 of the samples. I'm not gonna say whose names, and I sent it to the Balco lab to analyze it. I took it myself, box like this, okay? 3 guys, because it just stayed there.
So what did you test for?
I never tested. I can't say it because
Why? It was fucking 30 years ago. What did you test for? What did you find?
Diuretics. That's what it was. We found Mersalil. Mersalil was mercurial-based diuretic that was pulled off the market because of a renal toxicity and all this shit, and it was traces of that.
What was the year they tried to get Cutler on
2001.
diuretics?
2001
2001. And that's the best thing ever. I mean, he got popped
for 5.
apparently for five diuretics.
Yeah, I heard at least 3 of them.
No, it was 5. It was 5.
Yeah.
What?
5 different ones.
And he just threatened to sue, and then they back off.
Yeah.
It went away.
For a second, I thought, oh, I'm going to move into the 6th spot because I thought he's going to get disqualified. You know, I said, oh, I'm going from 7th to 6th. I'm going to get another check. Nope.
Hey, that's Jay Cutler. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, so yep. Jose, are you going to go to Pittsburgh? Are you be there?
I'm not. I got to judge a show here locally
Oh,
on Saturday.
so you judge for the NPC?
Oh, here
Yeah.
it is. You're a judge.
I have
So-
no
Yeah.
idea. I had no idea you judge.
That's why I was saying, like, even though they don't have a symmetry round, they're judging quarter turns. We judge quarter turns.
So how
We
can?
have them go through it.
So it's okay to be a coach and a judge?
Yeah. I don't judge my people very what's the word?
Much.
Very much, very nicely, I should say.
Yeah.
If it's
Oh,
one of
really?
my clients, I'll if it comes down to 2 people, I'll pick the other person.
Okay.
Come
Are you
on.
saying that to be nice now, or
Yes, he
No.
doesn't want to be biased coach.
No, because I don't want to ever be in that situation where
So why don't you
they,
do what would be the right thing to do when somebody of your guys on stage
Table.
get up off the table?
or I don't judge it.
Or you don't,
I'm not going to get up and make a scene. I just
yeah, but
not score it.
why would you if it's close between you and your guy and this guy, why would you give it to the other guy just to piss your guy off?
If it's
You
close,
probably,
I'll give
and
it
you
to him.
and you probably told him after. I said, yeah, I gave it to the other guy.
Oh yeah, one of my best friends,
Oh shit.
my boy Nate. He's like, dude,
Nathan,
are you
yeah.
serious? I'm like, yeah.
So do you judge regional shows only, or you judge national qualifiers?
No, I just judge locally.
Okay,
You should
Anywhere in New England, Rhode Island,
got you.
Vermont.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You should judge the Olympia, really.
Guys,
I would love to.
why don't
I
you
would love
you
to.
sign up for it? Say, I want to be a national judge and a pro judge.
It's not that simple. There's a lot of
You're a Jose motherfucking Raymond, man. Come on now.
yeah. I wish that meant something. I've tried. I judged the universe one year
Uh-huh.
in New Jersey, and then ever since, basically, if you notice, all judges are promoters. There's not one. Well, now maybe there's one former pro bodybuilder that's a judge. Wouldn't you think after all these years there'd be more than one bodybuilder that's a judge?
Yeah.
One of us,
you know what I think the problem is? I think the problem is people don't voice their opinion. They don't they don't make it known that they want to judge. I would sign up to be a pro judge. You definitely qualified. There's no test judging needed, especially after being a local judge for years. I think
I've been doing this for over 20 years, judging locally.
I think you should maybe let the right people know that you would like to, judge bigger shows and pro shows, because there's
I would love to.
Because I know for a fact there's judges needed.
I like to get into it at one point.
Well, Chris, you can't. But you shouldn't be training people and then say, "I want to be a judge." That doesn't work. He's been doing it for 20 years. It's a little different now. Maybe that's why it's holding him back, because we can't have judges that are training the guys on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the same issue in Germany. You know how many people I have that they say I would like to be a judge. There's a questionnaire, and if any of them questions is a yes, you're not qualified. That means, are you a trainer? Are you a nutritionist? Are you any of this? Is your spouse, your boyfriend, a trainer? That disqualifies you immediately. Because
I can tell you locally, there's tons of judges that are prepping people, not at the national level and not at the pro level.
Yeah,
but locally, it's like you're trying to help. You're trying to groom these people and teach them the right way. And losing is part of learning.
I get that.
So you don't help anyone.
Right. And I get that. And it's probably because it's been going on for a long time and judges are needed. But now new people, you have to qualify to even be a judge. You can't be a coach. It doesn't make it. It's a conflict.
No, I agree with that.
It's a total conflict of interest.
Hey, Momo Ba. Sorry.
What?
More Ba is the guy that took second at the show in FIBO at the Classic.
Yeah. The brother.
Yeah, he's gonna be here Thursday.
So he's doing Pittsburgh, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Why not?
He wants to improve his body, and then he wants.
Okay.
So possibly the one in Dubai.
He's doing Dubai.
Possibly.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I got a name for you guys to look for this weekend.
Who?
His name's Carlos DeOliveira. He goes by Kaique on Instagram. He's Brazilian. He was living in Boston for years.
Classic.
He was a men's physique. Yeah, and he switched to classic.
Okay.
And he is crazy impressive.
Before we go, let's talk about classic real quick. I saw pictures of this guy. This guy's very impressive. Yes, but I think for me, it's the crystal clear. Terrence Ruffin is at his all-time best. I don't think he's ever looked bigger. I don't think he's ever been harder. I think that this guy is going to get on stage, and I'm going to say it here. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I think this guy is the closest one when it comes to shape, size, and symmetry to Mike Sommerfeld. What do you guys think?
I agree. This is the first time I've seen someone take a year off and actually improve.
Yeah.
See, but
Yeah.
his lines improved. His lines and his legs.
And his separation is so fucking
Body.
deep in his quads. That shit look like it's almost fake.
He got a lot bigger too in the upper
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's gonna
become a classic.
and we don't have to worry about his presentation at all.
No.
Next level.
So
Yeah.
I think he's gonna put himself, and he's been second to Chris Bumstead 1
And
year.
who is entering? Who else?
Let's check the
Yes.
competitor list for the classic physique, please, real quick.
But
Yeah.
one thing before the classic, I want to say, I didn't know, Jose, you're judging, but now it makes perfect sense. You gave Nick 5'3" over Derek, but overall you would give Derek, because if it's symmetry round considered, you would give him front side rear symmetry round, so it would take over. I
Yeah.
mean, that should be explained, to someone go, oh, but you gave 5'3" to
Yeah,
Nick.
but isn't that what Tyler is doing, explaining it post by post? But then again, it's subjective.
Maybe
just
he does.
because
Maybe
Tyler,
that-
and just because Tyler thinks, so let's say Nick or whatever wins this pose, doesn't mean that the other people think that he won the pose.
Yeah, yeah.
Tyler's giving his opinion. He's
Yeah,
not.
but
He's
yeah.
not. He's not justifying why the judges decided
Like
to do whatever.
If you ask Jose, okay, but you gave 5'3" to Nick, so how do you see Derek winning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
do we have the competitor list? Let's go through it real quick. All right.
Kike DeOliveira.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you obviously seen some pictures, Jose.
Oh yeah. I talk to him quite often. I'm blown away by him because I've known him since he was a kid, basically, and coming up.
Yeah, Munoz, José Munoz from Spain. He's phenomenal. He's gonna. Yeah.
Just leave it right. Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Okay, so we got.
Olympia last year, Milos
What?
was the guy from the
Yeah.
States.
He was like fifth at Olympia, right?
Yeah.
It's ripped beyond belief.
So James Smith is the last one. Who's the first one?
Zay.
I know a guy is preparing for the show, but I don't even see him on the list.
list?
So maybe he was just giving me some kind of bullshit. Oh, Leo Mayhoff is doing the show. Okay, hopefully I guess he registered in time. He made it. Okay,
But
so
yeah.
Camilo Diaz. He's done well.
who?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Camilo Diaz.
Colombian. Yeah.
The guy I'm talking about, his name was Antonio Diaz.
Oh,
Who's a Puerto? He's a
about
Puerto
him. Look at ADK Diaz. Is this the guy?
I don't know.
No, that could be it.
Could be ADK. I know his name is Antonio. Why would they put ADK? I'm not sure. But yeah, it could be him. Yeah. Well, I have Terrence Ruffin winning this.
Yeah.
Going
That's
out
a
on a
safe
limb,
bet.
are you?
That's huh?
Going out on a limb, are you?
You got to pull my arm. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. You got to pull my arm. I got Terrence Ruffin. I think Terrence Ruffin's going to put himself on the map. I still believe that Logan Franklin will definitely be a contender for this year's Olympia. I think if he can get better than he was at the Arnold size-wise, if he can add a couple of pounds here and there, I think he will put himself right in the mix to win this title. I think the Olympia is going to be open. Of course, Mike Sommerfeld is the favorite after winning the Arnold, but I think there's about, I would say, 5-6 guys that could potentially walk away with that title.
Ruffin's he's gonna be super dangerous there.
Super dangerous, man.
I'll say that right now. I predict Ruffin to win in Pittsburgh and win the Olympia.
Yeah, I can see that happening because if we look at Mike Sommerfeld as the closest one to him is Ruffin. It's just a black version of Mike Sommerfeld, and
He's
probably
got more separation.
more separation,
Sharper, more
Sharp.
detail,
Yeah.
better presentation.
Yeah, that's some old school conditioning right there.
Yeah.
With them deep lines in the quads, that shit looks like it's fake.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Flex Wheeler in '93. He didn't have the biggest legs, but his lines were so deep, it just created so much of an illusion. It just
Dennis,
looked perfect.
don't you think that's what would make a body like these guys want the size, but I'm more of a fan of the separation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
separate all those muscles, you're gonna appear bigger than what you really are. You don't.
Yeah.
Flex was a big guy, but he appeared 10 times bigger than what he really was.
Right. Right.
And these guys going for the size. I'm like, go for the separation first,
Well,
and the cut, then make those big.
guys, I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm definitely would love to have you back on after the show so we can talk about what we saw, what we witnessed. So the next one will be Tuesday next week. And Chris, will I see you in Pittsburgh?
You'll see me there, buddy. Got
All
my
right, my
ticket.
man. All right, Milos, I will text with you from Montreal.
Yeah.
You know, go check out the
The link of those.
Go check out the underground city. A
Why don't
quick,
you go-
a quick tip on the main event. Who's going to win the main event?
Bilal. I think Bilal is way underrated.
Okay. All
You
right.
know,
So you put money. You put
Banana is a better striker, but it's MMA.
you put money on him. You put money on him.
Oh, probably will.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't bet like you. You bet like crazy amount of money.
Hey, Milos, I'll still be in the lobby waiting for you over there in Montreal. CVC.
Yeah, okay. So Jose,
What?
Yeah.
Chris is accusing me of asking for insulin in Montreal 2007.
I'm still there waiting.
Yeah, and I'm a coach. You think I'm traveling with the insulin? You know, I don't. So I had a couple of guys, and when I gave them the idea of, hey, do you have extra insulin for Chris? No. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's still waiting in the lobby.
I'm still
Right
waiting.
there, Chris.
All right, guys. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Peace
All
out.
right,
y'all.
brother.
Take care.
See you
Be
guys.
safe.
Yeah.
Bye.